All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-thru, sponsored as always by the deli. Tired? Stop by the deli and get yourself some professional-grade coffee. All right, here, this is number 22, okay, from 5.2. It's one of the restrictions on X problems. So it says, find the restrictions on X if point P may be anywhere between K and MJ. So this is M, this is J. Point P is anywhere in there? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so really, you should think about this question in two different ways, okay? So what is kind of helpful on this one is if you just redraw yourself a mini picture, write yourself a picture with X on the outside, like that. That makes X an interior angle. And then write yourself a picture with X on the inside, like that. And that makes X part of a triangle, okay? So, from our exterior angle theorem, we should know that what's the relationship between X and the remote interior angle? Sam? Okay, so X has got to be bigger than 81. Okay? Now, this other one, you've just kind of got to get your infinity, creative, imaginary mind on, okay? In this triangle, X plus 37 has got to be less than 180. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, it's got to be less than 179. I totally understand what you're saying. Or maybe you're thinking, it's got to be less than 179.9. And I totally understand what you're thinking. But I guess what I want you to imagine, okay, I'm going to come back to this slide. I'm going to redraw this picture over here. Okay, I'm trying to draw you like a very, 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 very extreme triangle. Can you picture that? So now let me go back to the last screen. You see this? So what I've done is I've taken this vertex and I've like drug it really, really, really far away over in this direction. What is that doing to angle X? Uh-oh. It's making it really big, right? And what is that doing to this angle up here? It's making it really small. So that angle can be as small as 0.00001, okay? But it could be even smaller. It could be 0.00001, and we could keep going forever. So we have no way to state that other than the fact that this angle has to be bigger than 0. Do you understand that? Well, if all we know about this angle is that it's bigger than 0, then all we know about these two angles, for now I'm just going to call them A and B. A and B have to be less than what? Yep. I know that's weird to you guys. Because in essence, it's actually A plus B plus C has to be less than 180. But since this one can get really, really small, that's all we know. This is the only inequality we can state for sure, okay? This is a strange problem. So, now that we go back to this one, I need to solve this. Subtract 37 from both sides. And you get X is less than 143. You follow that? So then we know our restrictions is that X has to be bigger than 81 and less than 143, even though it's not likely to be 143. Another way you can think of it is if you pick a number, if this was a number line, and we had x cannot be 81, and it cannot be 143, but it can be anything in between there. You remember ever doing these in algebra? You remember that? Okay? The shaded part represents every value for x that could work. So for instance, if you picked one outside of it, if you picked 80, well look, we would have 80 here for x. Then what would this be? It'd be 100, and do you see where your contradiction is? That's why it can't be 80. Can it be 81? It cannot be 81. Okay? But it technically, and this is where it gets weird, it could technically be 81.5. Because if that's 81.5, then what's that on the inside? 98.5, is that right? Yes? And then, oddly enough, what's this? It's 0.5. And at least that technically works. It's just not what the picture would look like. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you for your wonderful question. Can I get a boom?